Marriage in Islam is a partnership. You've heard the stereotypes that marriage in Islam is about control, that men lead and women follow. But let's step away from headlines and look at the heart of it. Marriage in Islam is not about dominance. It's about balance. It's not a power struggle, it's a partnership. Let me show you how. 1. Built on love and mercy. The Quran describes marriage in one of the most intimate, poetic ways. And among his signs is this, that he created for you spouses from among yourselves so that you may find tranquility in them, and he placed between you love and mercy. Not control, not fear, not ownership. Love, mercy, tranquility. That's the foundation. 2. Mutual rights and responsibilities. Islam doesn't paint marriage as a man's privilege and a woman's burden. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best of you is the one who is best to his wife." And he lived this. He cooked. He sewed his own clothes. He listened. He loved. In Islam, both spouses have rights. Both have responsibilities. And both are expected to honor each other emotionally, spiritually, and physically. In the animal kingdom, you find the distribution of roles, and from this you understand that this is an innate matter upon which God has created his creatures. For example, the female has a role in the kingdom of birds, and the male has a role, and the same is true in the world of lions. So why do we come into the world of man, whom God has honored, and want to go against the law of God upon which he created people? The woman has a role that suits her biological, psychological, and feminine nature, just as the man has a role that suits his nature, and upon this is built partnership in life. Above all, each should help the other in performing his role as much as he can. 3. Consent is required, for both. Marriage in Islam cannot happen without consent. A woman cannot be forced, a man cannot be forced. The Prophet, peace be upon him, rejected marriages where consent wasn't given. He treated a woman's voice as her decision, not a formality. And that's not just a legal condition, it reflects the core of Islamic ethics, freedom, and mutual agreement. 4. Different doesn't mean unequal. Islam acknowledges that men and women are different, but different doesn't mean unequal. Islam gives the husband and wife complementary roles, each contributing uniquely to the emotional, financial, and spiritual health of the home. The wife is not a servant, the husband is not a boss. They're partners in building a life together, in raising the next generation, and in worshiping God, Allah. 5. Conflict. Islam encourages dialogue, not domination. Marriage isn't always easy. Islam knows that. But when conflict arises, Islam doesn't encourage silence or submission. It encourages communication, patience, and reconciliation. Even divorce, if it comes to that, is handled with fairness and dignity, without revenge or cruelty. Live with them in kindness, or separate from them with grace. That's not patriarchy. That's compassion in practice. 6. A spiritual partnership. At the deepest level, marriage in Islam is a spiritual alliance. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "When a man and a woman look at each other with love, Allah looks at them with mercy." That's the kind of relationship Islam promotes, one that strengthens your soul, not just your social status. Final thought. Marriage in Islam isn't about one partner ruling over another. It's about building something together. It's about loyalty without ownership and love without exploitation. So, if you've only seen cultural distortions or media headlines, look again. The Islamic marriage isn't a cage. It's a garden rooted in love, mercy, and balance.